Got a lot of thoughts today. I've been watching a lot of things online and different things, and I know that none of us here are ignorant or unfamiliar with what's going on in our country and in our world, and even within the church around us. I think passages like Psalm 23, we tend to memorize and maybe forget the real meaning of the psalmist when he said, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." What that means and what that looks like and how that develops and manifests itself in our everyday lives. As I flip over to Psalm 56 and 7, and I find the psalmist in Psalm 56 a prisoner. And then in Psalm 57, and I don't think they're tied together chronologically, I just think it's unique in the circumstances. Psalm 57, he's isolated in a cave out of fear of the king, King Saul. May dive off into those a little more Sunday morning, Lord willing, and veer off from our devotional book a little bit. A lot to be considered there in those two Psalms, and I thought a lot about that today, but I guess I ended up here in Romans 8 and verse 18. "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us." Heard that verse a few times over the last few days. And it might be easy to use it out of context or to misapply verses from time to time, though I see this one admitting that we live in a world of suffering. We live in a world of pain. We live in a world of evil. We live in a world of fallenness. And because of that, we struggle with everything from sickness to unfairness to corruption, and the list could go on and on. All of those things bring about suffering of various kinds, emotional, physical. But they're not worthy, or they're not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed. I guess in all the things that I've learned since Friday is I kind of got to thinking this world was my home. I knew better than that. I knew better than to live that way. But I was kind of doing it anyway. Calendar was full. Every day had something on it. It was exciting. And now the only thing left on our calendar for this month is my birthday, and I'm trying to get them to take it off. It's all that's left. Reminds you of a lot of things, doesn't it? Reminds you that this world is not our home. The busyness, the chaos of life will end at some point. It absolutely will. And for now it has, temporarily at least. It's caused me to think about where true glory is. As I think about Romans chapter 8 and the Spirit and God and all that's in there, it's easy to get lost in the chapter and forget or look over the fact. Verse 37 says, "No, in all things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us." There is nothing that is able to separate us, verse 39, from the love of God in Christ Jesus. Nothing. Nothing is able to separate us. Not life, nor death, nor angels, or rulers, or things present, or things to come, or powers, or height, or depth, or anything else in all of creation. Nothing can separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus. And so, we deal with a world that has its challenges and its difficulties. Has its moments, has its days, has its weeks, maybe it's months of uncertainties. I don't know about tomorrow, and neither do you. But in the current climate in which we live, I would dare say that it'll be different tomorrow, because it was different yesterday. But we all know who holds tomorrow, right? And nothing can be done to separate us from Him. At least nothing external can be done. The only thing that can separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus is our internal desires and choices. Doesn't mean that God won't quit loving us. It just means that, Isaiah 59, because of sin, we can separate ourselves from God, and He separate Himself from us. Beyond that, nothing. No suffering. No virus. No pandemic can separate us from God. It might be that in hindsight, we learned that God is using things like this to bring us back to where we need to be. If tonight life has got you down, the suffering of this present time is not worthy to compare with the glory that'll be revealed. On that day when it's revealed, I want you to be able to enjoy it, and me as well. And so tonight, if you're not ready to meet God in glory, we invite you to come as we stand and sing.